If you're planning to sell your home, then the number one question you probably have is, what do I need to do to get my house ready for market? Well, that's what we're going to talk about in today's video. My name is David Tortellini, and welcome back to Moving to Hampton Roads. The way we're going to talk about this is that I'm going to show you what I just did to my house so that I was able to get it sold without even having to put it on the market. So all the work that we did in the months, years, and just days and hours leading up to getting the house ready for sale, I'm going to take you through the whole home, show you everything that we did, show you what my priorities were, what yours should be when you prepare your home for sale. Stick around and we'll get right to it. Alrighty, we're going to start right out front so I can show you what we did to make sure that when people pull up to this house, they knew it was a great home for them that just had that curb appeal that we knew that they would like. So let's start with something a little easier. We have the driveway power washed. So it had been a little while since we had done it. It was starting to get kind of black. And then our back patio was done as well. And so we knew that these two things would look really good and make a difference for a home buyer. So you can see, like, here's my neighbor over here. See, it's kind of dark and gray and not so great looking. And you come over, they're the same age driveways. So, it's just something that's easy to do for, anywhere from like $500 to $1,000. You can get power washing done, whether you need it on the house itself or on the driveway, patios, things like that. Just get it looking good. Maybe your roof could use a soft wash. So the power washers can come in and do a light spray on the roof, get rid of any moss or fungus that's built up there. So really good idea to get some power washing done, if it hasn't been done in a while. Now, I'm going to give you a bigger ticket item next. So not everyone's going to do this, but we had the roof replaced. So our roof was 19 years old on a 20-year shingle. And, it was very light gray. It didn't need to be replaced. There were no real major problems with it. But what I've been seeing in the market, especially for kind of starter homes like this, that people they can't take on those high expenses right now. So if you have an aging roof, then maybe getting it changed is the right move to get your home sold fast and for highest dollar. And that's what I wanted. I'm confident we could have put it on the market with the roof the way it was, but we'd be looking at a totally different buyer set and maybe not have the fast sale that we did. So getting a roof replaced, very expensive these days, but it's still worthwhile. You can get a lot more money, a lot easier. The appraisers like it. It's good for everybody. So the big one was the roof. And, I will say that particularly on starter homes like this, the roof is really important. When you get into bigger homes where maybe people are making a move specifically for like the community itself, schools, things like that, and they have a lot more income, you can actually get away with an older roof. Like the house we're buying has an older roof, but we don't care because we can replace it. But the people that we thought would buy this house were probably not going to be in the financial position to be able to replace the roof right away. So kind of a big deal there. So also you can see we had this custom walkway poured a few years back. So this was power washed as well. All right, let's go inside. Then, we're going to talk about a couple of like little things. So up on our front porch, it's February, and these will probably die any day now, but we made sure we put some flowers in them just to give it some color out front, make sure it looked really nice for, when people pulled up. And then you just got to get out, make sure that you've got, make sure you got your pillows out front and things like that, and just make sure they're clean and fresh. So we just, we washed down these chairs really good, made sure they look good, got everything nice and clean and fresh. So when people came in, it looked good. All right, and here are my dogs. That's Daisy, and that's Rocky, the chocolate. So let's go in and check it out. All right. So I'm going to show you what we did first. So when we talk about getting your home ready for sale, biggest things we talk about that are easy are painting and carpet and then decluttering. Decluttering is free. It's usually free. So come on and take a look. So when you come in, what you're going to see in the house is one uniform color throughout most of the living space. And so we had our painter come in, and we had a color in the dining room we really liked. It's Dover White by Sherwin-Williams. So we had the painter come in and he did this living room. He did this hallway that we're in now. He did the family room. And he did the kitchen all in that Dover white color. So we had one uniform color throughout most of the living space. And people really like that. It's nice and fresh, gives it a good look. After he finished up, right before we listed, I actually went around and touched up a lot of the trim too. I think getting that fresh paint on there made me realize how much the trim needed it. Those two dogs, they bring in a lot of dirt and a lot of fur. So constant chaos with dogs. So if you do have animals, just know like getting especially your baseboards is really going to make a big difference. Make sure they're nice and bright and white, or whatever color they are. Make sure it's just a nice fresh coat of paint. So easy to paint. So he did all of this. I think paint cost included was only $11 or $1,200. So very, very inexpensive. Now, we mentioned decluttering. So as you can see, we don't have a whole lot. Like here's our desk. My desk doesn't look like that in real life. It's usually chaos. We do these sorts of things. Usually there's a giant Barbie dream house right here. It's in the garage. I'll show it to you. These are the kind of things that if you have access to another space, if you have access to either in your own garage, just fill the garage. No one cares about the garage. Just fill it. Our house, we already purchased our new home, so we were able to shuttle some stuff up there to help declutter. So that garage is filled with a lot of stuff that's normally kind of floating around in this house. Worst case scenario, go rent a storage unit. For $100, you can make your house look so much better. That could potentially make you thousands down the road. So declutter. So getting rid of all the little things, like our daughter's play area, 80% of her stuff is missing. There's so much gone, but it ended up photographing and looking so good in the videos that by the time someone saw it, when I sent it out to some coworkers and friends, they had a buyer who wanted to jump right on it. So easy things like that, So let's go through here and just show you a little bit more, just getting some things just nice and clean, decluttered, nice and easy, just keeping it really fresh. And we'll go in the kitchen too. So follow me into the kitchen. So in this room, we had done a lot of updates to this kitchen in the last few years. So kind of kitchen renovation came in two phases, with that getting done a while back, and then this kitchen with quartz counters and the farmhouse sink. And we put a new faucet on because it was dripping a little bit, leaking a little. So we did that, and we had replaced the dishwasher a couple of years ago. So if you have any of those sorts of things going on, if you have plumbing leaks, any fixtures that aren't, working properly, they can kind of make a home seem kind of janky and kind of outdated if they're not working. So just get them done. They're usually really inexpensive, and the way they build them these days, you can install them yourselves. They're mostly just like click and play. They're so easy to use that most homeowners can install those things on their own. And then little things like just adding some flowers to the home to give it a little bit of color. It's kind of hard in homes to have color these days. Everything's always white. So, we put flowers on the table and kind of make it look really nice for when people came through. I think it makes it feel a little more homey. So, those were some big things, but the things we really did, again, paint. We did not do new carpet in this back family room. This carpet, if we were here a couple more years, I would replace it, but we've shampooed it a couple of times. We vacuum it like crazy. So it's in really good shape, even though we have a kid and two dogs. So not the worst, but if we were here a couple more years, I would definitely want to get that replaced too, because carpet's really inexpensive as well. So we just did that in another listing that I put up that sold in a couple of days in Pocosin. We put new carpet in there. So we're really kind of pushing carpet, paint, declutter. It's all the same stuff you've heard for years, but it's really easy to just kind of forget about it. So, all right, so here's the next thing. This is the bathroom, and I'm gonna have to get some better shots than doing it in the selfie mode. So hall bathroom is tight. And what we did here was we had someone come in and resurface the whole house, the whole bathroom. So they came in, this was blue speckled tile. It was hideous. My wife hated it, and nothing had been updated in there since the house was built in 1967. So even the vanity was old and horrible. But this is the bathroom that I mostly used, and she never went in it. So I just don't care. So it was easy. But we had a company come in and resurface the whole thing and reglaze the tub. So it gave it a much brighter, fresher feel. Put in a brand new vanity, new mirror, new light fixture. So just really gave it that refreshing that it needed, and it was fairly inexpensive. So between that and what I'm going to show you that we did in the master bathroom, we spent under $6,000, and I think we're going to get a great return on it because I could see it turning off a lot of people. I mean, it was horribly old and outdated when we bought the house 12 years ago, and while I didn't really care so much, a lot of buyers do. So let's go look at what we did to the primary bathroom as well. So in the primary bathroom, which is also kind of small. All right, so here's one thing I'll show you real quick. We had a couple of those little settlement kind of cracks too. So this is Sherwin-Williams sea salt, and matching paint it rarely works. So yeah, we've got a couple of spots that don't match. I didn't think it was a big deal. I kind of felt like that was at the very, very lowest importance of kind of the whole process. And if it was a really big deal, my painter is actually at our new house painting right now. I would bring him down here to make sure that he could just roll out this room real quick. But again, not that big a deal. Touch up, but do those touch ups. Like if you have those little settlement cracks and stuff, better to touch them up and paint them over, and if it doesn't match, than to let them get worse or have people think that there's a problem. So this is just pretty easy stuff. It's, you know, you can solve these problems at Home Depot for $10. So in this bathroom, let me get the light on in here for us. We had done a couple updates over the years, but again, we replaced the vanity, new granite countertops, the same one that's in the other room. So just, we've got them both done. And then you can see here, this door is brand new too. The one that was there was just kind of getting old and kind of beat up a little bit. And it wasn't clear like this is. And I think it makes a big difference in the depth and size of the room, because it's a small bathroom. Like it's, you know, it's small. And so you would, just to make it feel bigger, switching it out to this new door, and the door itself was only $300 or $400. So it was really easy, fairly inexpensive to do, getting a new vanity, and we replaced the toilet because the toilet there wasn't so great. So got a nice new toilet in there, and we were able to do these sorts of things. So once we did all of those sorts of things, you get the front cleaned up, paint, declutter like crazy. We'll go in the garage now and I'll show you that. And then just really just getting bedrooms decluttered. Like this is my daughter's bedroom. And listen, it usually has, you know, like the top here is usually filled with all sorts of little kid stuff. And so we get rid of all of that. You know, we cleared out a bunch of stuff from all her bins and toys and all these other random stuffed animals that she has. We had a couple of books set up there, but we had to return those to the library. Today's library day. You know, and just make sure that everything's kind of cleared off the top, and just get everything out of here that doesn't need to be there, you know, and kind of stage her Wonder Woman stuff. That's always fun, you know. So we got to do some fun stuff too if you can. And then if you can get your Labrador to not be in the photos, that's pretty good too. He's pretty great. So we let him come in the videos sometimes. All right, so going through the rest of the house, let's just go out back real quick. So our backyard is a place that we've put a lot of effort into over the years with these big fire pit extension, and then the other patio extension I did a few years before that. So, but this is what our backyard normally looks like. So it's usually really clean. We maintain it. There's usually not a lot of debris lying around. We usually just have to clean up like dog toys and things like that. So, but not everybody is like that. And what I do is I'll go to a lot of homes where their backyard is just kind of like filled with a ton of kid toys, or just, you know, their grill paraphernalia is all over the place. And it's just not a clean, well-maintained space that's really treated like a living space. And so that's what I think you should do. Backyards are important to a lot of people. So I would go out, get your backyard nice and clean. You don't want to see any junk lying around. You want to have it actually staged like it's a space that you spend time in. So the more you can do that, the better. Get it clean, get it mowed, get it edged. Even if it's the middle of the winter, you know, I edged this like the great thing about winter is I edged it like 2 or 3 weeks ago, and it still looks really good. So that's the one benefit maybe of selling in February. So again, just try and get everything kind of cleaned up. You know, if you've got a place set, if we've got a place set back here, just try and get that cleaned off, because people will come if they have kids. The kids are, you're not going to be able to keep them off the play equipment, so you might as well have it clean and make it seem like, so the family knows that it's a fun family atmosphere to play in. So that's something else that you can do, really, that's really easy, is just clean your yard, make it nice and fresh mow, edge, easy stuff like that. So heading back into the house, and then I'll just show you, like, so we've moved a lot of stuff up to the other house, and we've already brought a few things back in, but, you know, things that can end up in the garage, like this shower caddy, these huge shower caddies, no one wants to see your shower stuff. So just get that out of there for especially for your photos. Showings, you know, you're living in the house still a lot of times, you need some of it, but if you have 10 different shampoos and conditioners and all that kind of stuff, just deal with one for a week while you sell your house, you know? And then we had stuff like, you know, here's our Barbie dream house we were talking about. Get that out of there. My daughter has this little chair that she uses, she sits in. So, but we just wanted to open up her room, so we were able to just get everything out of here. Now, in the meantime, I was able to bring a bunch of stuff up to our new home, so we didn't have quite as much that we needed to. That's going to be in this video, at least. A lot of it has been moved, but the more you can get out of your house, the better. Kitchen. So like the one thing that we brought the air fryer, we put that in the garage. So get stuff like that off of there. All we had when we did the photos was the knife block and the coffee maker, because it looks cool. And then we put away the utensils just because they don't all match. It's not a cute set or anything like that. So, and then same thing with soap dispensers, sponge, things like that. Get rid of all that. Get rid of it. You can all hide for the day. Make it look like someone may not actually live here. That's your goal. Is like, how can we get this house to the point where someone might live here, but it kind of looks like someone that might not live here. Like, where's that border? That's what we're shooting for. Same thing with like dog bowls. You can get rid of that stuff. Like that all went in the garage. I forgot to move my Roomba, you know, so he stayed, but that was about it. So really, these are all things that you can do. Now, of course, we spent some money. We did a new roof. We did those bathrooms. We put ceiling fans in 2 rooms. You know, we ended up spending, you know, in the power washing, we probably spent about $17,000 or $18,000 getting our house ready for market. But I wanted top dollar, and I wanted a great buyer. And I knew that would all make the process so much better. All right. Now, I told you I'd tell you what I did to make sure that the buyer didn't even do a home inspection. And so what I did is I did my own home inspection. So I had my home inspector, who has a great reputation in the area. I had him come out, do a home inspection, give me the full report. And then what I did is I determined in advance what repairs I was willing to do and typed those all out. And I just said, hey, listen, here's the home inspection. Here are the repairs that I think are reasonable. Here's the ones that I would like to do. And I typed those all out on a list. And I said, if anybody wants to buy my house and you don't want me to put it on the market, here's the price I want. And here's the property condition I want you to sign off on. And it worked. You know, we got the full price offer before we even listed it. They signed off on my repair list that I had typed up myself. And they said, we're not going to do our own home inspection. I said, great. We went into the MLS straight as pending. No showings. I don't have to deal with any of that. So we literally had 2 showings on the house from really good friends that I know with qualified clients. Didn't have to deal with any, of the issues that sometimes you run into when you're listing your house for sale. So in this case, we were very fortunate that there was a buyer, that we had a friend with a buyer who was ready to go on the property. It's not always going to work like that, but I think the more you do, the better opportunity you're going to have to get your house sold super fast and for top dollar. And all the preparation that we talked about in today's video, paint, carpet, declutter, get your landscaping looking good, get it all trimmed up, make sure that when people walk up to the house, they feel like they're walking to a home, make it something that they truly desire, and you will have a fast, great sale. All right, guys, that's it. That's a tour of my house. Let me know if you have any questions below, anything I didn't cover, any questions about my process itself, and I would be happy to answer them. All right, guys, before we go, do me a favor and like this video and share it with anyone else you know who may be making a move into, or in this case, out of the Hampton Roads area, since this video is definitely for sellers. And then, of course, subscribe to this channel. I do think that we make some really great content about moving in and out of the area. So anybody you know who you think would enjoy our content, please share the channel with them as well. Again, my name is David Tortellini. I'm with eXp Realty. Thanks so much for watching.